Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, New Year's resolutions. I have gone back and forth a million times on my opinion towards New Year's resolutions. Some years I'm like all about it. Other years I'm like, New Year's resolutions are dumb, no one ever does it, what's the point? And this year I'm kind of all about it. So one of the reasons I'm kind of pro goals this year is because I finally completed one and proved to myself that I could do it if I really put my mind to it. So September of last year, 2019, I started intermittent fasting. I did the program by John James, and his company is Strong, Sexy, Fit. I believe I'm saying that right. And so he has ebooks and like programs through like an ebook kind of a thing. And so I did part 1 of their intermittent fasting, 28 days, and I stuck to it and completed it. And that was like huge for me. It really changed. I mean, I did lose some weight, which was the reason I did it. However, I gained so much confidence in myself by proving to myself that I can do something if I put my mind to it. And I had tried to do intermittent fasting since March. I bought the ebook in March, and I didn't successfully complete it till September. Actually, technically October. And the reason I was able to complete it this time is because I learned from previous mistakes and took it slow. And I think that is one of the reasons so many people fail their New Year's resolutions, is because they rush into it, they don't really plan it out very well, or they take on too many things at a time. So in this video, I'm going to give you some tips of how to actually complete your goal. The things that I'm going to talk about are kind of in reference to intermittent fasting. However, they can be applied to probably not every goal, but a lot of them. So, the first thing that helped me was plan it out. Have a plan. In his program, the intervals shift. It's not always fast 16 hours, eat 8. Fast 16, eat 8. They change it up. He changes it up a little bit. So one of the things that I did was I put it in my Google Calendar, the hours that I was to fast. So what time I would begin my fast and what time I would end my fast the next morning. And so I had it planned out. And by doing that, I was able to see and kind of make some adjustments. It's really important to be flexible and to be realistic. So, Sundays, for example, our church starts at 9 and ends at 11. And realistically, the earliest I would be able to eat on like a Sunday would be like 11:30, because I'm in church and then getting out of church, sometimes we talk and mingle or whatever, drive home, get dressed, or change into our, comfy clothes, and then make lunch. The earliest I'm going to sit down is 11:30. So that being said, I don't want to have my fast scheduled to end at 10 o'clock, because that's an extra hour and a half until I'm actually able to eat. I'm not going to break my fast in the middle of church. So then what I would do is I would adjust my start time. So I would start an hour and a half later, so that way I knew it was more adjusted and it was more realistic and doable for me. So I did all of that in advance. And the other great thing is I was able to set a reminder. So you can have it on your Google Calendar and it'll set a reminder like 30 minutes beforehand, like, hey, remember you have this coming up. So I knew, okay, let me eat something real quick. So being organized in that sense is super important. So if your goal is a daily goal, something that you want to do every single day, maybe you want to do yoga every day. Maybe you want to take, 15 minutes of meditation or saying your prayers or reading scriptures or whatever it is. Put it in your calendar every day. Set a reminder and be willing to adjust. It may be beneficial to you to have a set time. Like every day, every night, 9 o'clock, I'm doing meditation before bed. Whatever. And you set a reminder 15 minutes before, 5 minutes before, whatever. Or, 10 o'clock every morning, I'm reading my scriptures. Well, be willing to adjust a little bit and move times around. If you have a meeting or a play group or whatever, brunch, you can be willing to be flexible. Another tip I have is to don't quit. That's my tip, you guys. Don't quit. For me, it was really easy that there were times where I cheated. I would have started my fast, and the one time in particular, I started my fast, and then I went to the mall to do some shopping, and saw the Auntie Anne's pretzels. And those are very difficult for me to walk away from. So I bought one, and I ate it, and it was great, and I loved it. And I thought, well, shoot, I already started my fast. I broke it already. Like, I could have just gone ham and stopped at McDonald's on my way home or eaten a whole lot more. But I didn't. I stopped myself. I let myself have that little treat. And then I just restarted. So I restarted my fasting time. So it adjusted my time of when I would break the fast in the morning. So don't let a mistake, a little cheat, a day that you forget, don't let that derail you. If you cheat on your diet and be like, well, I already ate one cookie, what's 4 more gonna do? I already ate one. Stop, don't quit, take a break, forgive yourself, and keep going. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to cheat a little bit. Not in school. Don't cheat on tests, kids. But it's okay to have a cheat day on a diet. It's okay to take a little break. But don't let that stop you. Don't take one break day and then a second break day and then a third break day all in a row, because then it's not really break anymore. You've just kind of stopped. Another thing that helped me was telling friends and family that I was fasting. That was one of the things that derailed me often, was that I would go to someone's house and I didn't want to be rude or, I felt awkward. And so I would just eat whatever. So by telling friends and family, like, hey, I'm fasting, I can't eat till 11. I just don't want you to think I'm rude for not eating the food you have set out. First, they would ask me questions. Well, why are you doing that? Blah, blah, blah. And then they were always super supportive of me. And often they would be like, oh, well, let me stop eating. Let me wait. And I didn't have a problem with people eating in front of me. That was one of the reasons why I often ate, is because I didn't want people to feel awkward eating in front of me. So by telling them, it kind of made it a whole lot awkward. And they also helped keep me accountable. And they would often look at the clock for me and being like, okay, well, just 10 minutes left, just 10 minutes, whatever it is. So that was really helpful. And they would always be super encouraging when I would see them later. And they would ask me how it was going, and it really kept me accountable. So find someone, tell someone about your goal, have someone help keep you accountable to it. And the very last thing that I have is don't try to do it all at once. So my main goal was not to do intermittent fasting. My main goal was to be healthier. And to do that, I decided I would do intermittent fasting, I would drink more water, and I would exercise regularly. All good things. And I tried to do them all at once. And all three things were major lifestyle changes for me. And so to do all these lifestyle changes all at once was really hard, and I ended up feeling super overwhelmed, and I would quit because I just couldn't do it all. So this time around in September, I decided, let me do one thing at a time, and I'm going to only do intermittent fasting. I'm not going to worry about my water intake. I'm not going to worry about exercising. I'm just going to worry about fasting. And I put all of my focus into that. And I was able to fast. And then I finished the 28 days and I felt super accomplished. So then fasting became a lot easier for me. Towards the end, I really didn't even feel hungry anymore. So I started adding in drinking water. But by taking baby steps and focusing on one thing at a time, it's a whole lot easier to do your goal. Those are my 4 tips to accomplishing your goal this year. Number 1, get organized. Write it down, put it in your calendar, schedule it, give yourself a reminder to make sure it actually happens every day. Number 2, be forgiving and don't quit. Just because you've cheated once doesn't mean you throw everything away. Start again as soon as you can. 3, tell your friends and family. Have someone that you are accountable to and will help you accomplish your goals and help you remember and check in on you and see how you're doing. And number 4, don't bite off more than you can chew. Try to focus on one thing at a time. It's great to have a ton of resolutions, but you don't need to start them all in January. It's a long year. You can start it one at a time, and then you'll be much more likely to accomplish those goals. So all of that being said, I have several goals that I want to accomplish this year, but I'm taking it easy. I'm doing one at a time, or a couple at a time if I have kind of mastered one. So 1, I do want to start intermittent fasting again. I started it a little bit after Christmas, trying to get back into that habit. It's been a lot easier this time around. Another goal I have is to drink more water. I feel like that is a goal I have every year. I have an awful soda addiction. If I'm being perfectly honest, I drink probably a 2-liter of soda a day. Just me. It's bad. I know. It's awful. I need to drink water so bad. Number 3, I do want to start exercising. All those things in like the getting healthier goal is still a goal for me. So I do want to get exercising. I do want to get fit. I want to feel strong. I want to have energy for my 2-year-old. Another thing physically, which I don't know if this is like a goal per se, because it's not just me involved, but I would really love to have a baby this year, or get pregnant this year, I'll say. Something my husband and I have kind of been going back and forth on a lot. We have decided there are things that we need to do before this happens. Before we get to the point where we're like, yeah, we're trying. But I would like to get to that point this year. And then the last thing I would like to do is get a little bit more organized in my life and stop the piles. I have piles everywhere. I'm sitting amongst 1, 2, 3, 4 piles right just in my immediate vicinity. I just have a really bad habit of being like, I'll put it away later. It never goes away. I never put it away later. I need to start putting things away and doing it right away and getting more organized. I've already kind of started it a little bit. But those are my goals this year. what are some of your New Year's resolutions? I do enjoy this time of the year to start fresh, start anew, reflect on things that have happened, and look forward to the future. So I hope you guys have a wonderful 2020. I guess I should add, I would like to do more YouTube. I've been blogging, but I kind of want to do some more sit-down videos like this. I have some new equipment to kind of help make that easier. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that way you can see if I am actually following through with my New Year's resolutions this year. So thank you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.